welcome to part 5 of the K24A2 breakdown. So like part 4, like the end of part 4, we were continuing to drop the cylinder head. So that's what we're going to continue to do also in part 5. Yay! Okay, today we're going to concentrate on the bolts right here. I'm reading directly from the manual and this is exactly what they suggest to do. I'm going to be first loosening all the bolts here, basically a half turn, not a full 360, but like a 180. And I labeled them because, again, you want to do a specific pattern. And if you're anything like me, especially with this many bolts, it's kind of hard to be like, or to remember like, oh wait, did I already turn that one? Did I turn this one next? So yeah, so make it easy on yourself. Take a little Sharpie and just kind of number all the bolts in order that you're going to go. Okay, we're going to do this maybe like 2 or 3 times. We're not going to basically fully loosen them all at once because doing it gradually will help release the tension, and that way you won't break like a tower or a cam. So let's get started. And of course, you know, as always, not all the bolts are the same. There are 3 10s, and that is, let's see, number 1 right here in the middle, and then these 2 on the side. And so those are the 3 I'm going to start with. There we go. So you see, I started on the bottom and then went up to the top. And so I'm not going to describe everything, but there we go. Beautiful. Boop. Okay, so those are the 3 10s. Now I'm going to go to the rest. And so now I'm looking for 4. Okay, so this is actually kind of cool. Well, I mean, not really cool, but you can actually go down after this. So 4, 5, 6 and 7 happen to be missing, but that's literally how we're going. And then after that, after 7 comes 8. So 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are doing like a little bit of a crisscross. So it's not quite like going from here to here, there to there. It is in a straight row, but you're still skipping columns. I hope that makes sense. Perfect. So that was 4. 5. There we go. Okay, and so 6 and 7 are done. Let's move to 8. So 8 is right here. And so just remember where you start and go halfway back or forward. Okay, now 12 is over here. And I'm guessing we'll probably fast forward a little bit about this. So that was 15, and now we're going to 16, which is right here. Oh, one thing cool happened today, you guys. So I got 400-pound springs for my Mini. Hopefully, those mothers will be the answer to that car. If not, I'm just tossing it in the trash. I'm going to crush it for scrap metal. I don't even care at this point. Okay, so that was 18, 19. Now we're looking for 20. Okay guys, so that was the first round. I'm gonna go ahead, I don't think you guys need to see me do this again. So we're gonna turn the camera off. I'm gonna continue doing this, and then once we're ready to actually pull out the cams and everything, we'll turn it back on. So as you can see, now the bolts are off the surface. This is perfect. Okay, so I went through it once more after we turned off the camera, and now I'm gonna go ahead and ratchet them almost completely off, pick them up a little bit. Well, not even pick them up, but they're gonna be super loose, but then I'm gonna set them back down. So, okay, this is the point where you're like, well, why can't I use my Milwaukee or DeWalt or whatever? Why can't I use my power tool? The only thing, because I love myself a power tool, but there's maybe one bolt that the threads are going to be stuck, and you won't be able to feel that if you use a power tool. And this, if you get a thread messed up in this and you're planning on reusing it, you're pretty much hosed. So that's why I say either use your hands or use your ratchet. Sorry guys, I miss my Milwaukee right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, like I said, completely loosen these and then just kind of set them back in. And I noticed 22 also seems a little bit tight. So that's another one. And 23 doesn't seem to be happy too. Okay, well, we're mostly done. I'm going to turn off the camera, investigate, and come back with my findings. Okay, so the worrisome bolts weren't so worrisome. They were just a little snug. I was able to take them out. No cursing necessary. Okay, so the great thing about all these bolts is basically they're all the same. And so it doesn't matter where, you can basically put them in a bag is what I'm getting at here. The only bolt that's different is this first 10 is a little bit longer than the other two 10s, which again is not a big deal because you'll know the two same ones go on this end. So now I am just going to be collecting bolts. Yay. Getting closer and closer. Ooh, there's some long boys. Ooh, two at once. Doesn't happen quite frequently with these little hands, let me tell you. Okay, now we're just gonna make a quick visual, make sure all the bolts are out, and they are. So let's get going. So you'll notice the rockers right here kind of did us a favor. They kind of popped these caps up a little bit, which is great because that's what we're taking off next. Now, the number one rule, never, 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 even if you think like, man, I'm never gonna get these off, never put a screwdriver inside those wedges, inside the hole to try to pry it off. You will damage them. What I suggest is actually taking a punch, make sure it has no burrs on the top, kind of putting it through. Yeah, I guess I can do it right here. Putting it through, but not all the way down, and then rocking it back and forth. And that way it'll lift off. So you'll have to do it on each side, just on the edges. And these are directional, so you can't screw it up. And also, if you still have your numbers on it, yay, because you matched with the manual. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all these off. So I'll show you, I guess, one more. Why not? Okay, let's do this middle one here. Yeah, and so they're basically gonna pop off. Might as well take them all off while we're here. Maybe I'll come to the forward here. This one's on just a little bit deeper, but still pops right off. We're running out of room again. And that one you can see is almost all the way off, so I'm just gonna concentrate on this guy. Come on, you are wedged in deep. Oop, there we go. And yeah, obviously you can see everything's coming free. Beautiful. Awesome. Oh my God, you guys, we were getting so close. Let's move on. Okay, now we can lift off the camshaft. So the one closest to us was the intake, and then the back is the exhaust. So if you're going to reuse them, you may want to label them. If not, don't worry about it. But if you want to sell them, no, I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, so they should come out as one piece if they're not broken. The only thing I suggest is try not to hit any surface with them because they are delicate. And I have some bubble wrap down there, so I'm not just putting them on the floor because I probably will be selling these. So if you want my cams, let me know. Okay, and again, we're ready to move on. Okay guys, here's a little trick of the trade. So the rocker's right here. So you don't want the middle to fall. So let's say you happen to lift up on one of the sides and the middle part falls down, it will explode. Springs will go everywhere. You're gonna have a bad day. This is also important if you're having like a friend help you and maybe you guys are goofing around and, oh, hey, don't do it, just don't. So we've kind of come up with this little thing right here where we're using zip ties. So you'll notice we put a zip tie around the middle, but first we start with the zip tie going around the rocker and the 2 screws. So we've got 2 right there and we've got 1 around the middle. It's a little bit painful, it's scary, which is why I didn't want to exactly film it because I'm sure the bloopers would have been just absolutely bleeping awesome, but I still care about this thing and I don't want it to. So anyway, take it from me, invest in zip ties and do it this way. Okay guys, now we're going to take out the rocker assembly. Now we could actually use the punch again and wiggle, but I found it to be a little bit harder this time around, like it was in there too deep. So you notice it's popped out a little bit, but it was still kind of hard to get. Well, here I have my super fancy and expensive Bondo spreader. Just kidding. Well, it is a Bondo spreader, but I have no Bondo on my cars whatsoever. I just got to get that out there. Okay, but what you're going to do is basically protect the edge. And so where there's a little space like that, you can put the Bondo spreader down and then lift. And so that's what we're going to do there. And then we can come around here and lift, and you can see it's already lifting off. You only need to do the 4 corners. And so we're coming around here and lift, and then here and lift. So what I'm going to do now, let's put that down and make sure it gets the camera on. Okay, now we're going to lift from each side, and you want to have a little bit of pressure going in just in case it expands. Beautiful. And again, try not to rub anything. And we have a mat right down here. Look at that, guys. Yay! Let's move on. Okay, now we're going to break the head bolts. And I'm guessing these are on pretty tight. Okay, this is super strange. They're 12-point, which I had to search for a while to actually find my 12-point sockets. They were at the bottom, so that's how long it's been. So they say you should break them or turn them like a third. So I figure at this point, either a third or less is fine. Don't go over a third. So I'm probably going to do like a quarter just because without thinking of the pie wedge thing. Anyway, and again, look at the manual because these do have, you will get it. You're going to do them in a pattern and not just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know how it is. Okay, it's getting towards the end of the night, guys. I want to get this done. Okay, so to avoid to hit anything, I'm going to go ahead. There we go. And go right here. Okay, let's see. I may have another hose experience. Okay. I don't think I can break these. Hold on. Is my head turning pink? Shit. Oh, could I actually, okay, I'm gonna figure something else out. Time to bring out the big guns. So I'm gonna use this jack handle. We'll see how it goes. I may just show you guys how to break one and then do the rest off camera. And remember, be careful with this because it could slide, well, it's able to slide right off. So Hopefully I won't slide right off. I'm gonna go like that. Yeah, this isn't gonna work for me. I'm gonna bring in the even bigger guns. Dion. Okay guys, thanks Dee for breaking those loose. And even so, they were on so tough that I actually had to support the stand with my feet so it wouldn't move around. It sucks when you're not physically able or physically strong enough to break something loose, but you know, it is what it is. Okay, so all the first quarters were done. I'm gonna go in and turn them another quarter. Six. Ooh, you can hear it. And a 10. Beautiful. Okay, now they've been fully loosened. So what I'm gonna do is now you can use a tool because it's a heavier duty bolt. And so what I'm gonna do is take them out and then place them right back in. Beware when you get to the last bolt because the head may slide a little bit, slide off. I think there's like a dowel or something, but first time I'm breaking down a K20 or K24, so we shall see. I'm not used to using this little guy. Okay. So again, listen to that rain, guys. Oh, okay, so this is a big mother. So yeah, that's why it was taking its sweet time. Okay, so 1, where is 2? 2 is right. Perfect. Okay, and the head did not slide, so we're good. I'm gonna put this down and maybe we can take the sucker off. Okay, so we're gonna do the same drill as before. So basically what you're gonna do is take your fabulous Bondo spreader here, put it into space, and then come in and pry off a little. And this is just to make sure that the head isn't completely stuck and that it is able to get off. This one, not a real good corner, but around the back, there's a space. I'll wait till you So right here, see that little corner right there? We'll come in and boom, just like that. And then this one's a great one. Right on the corner. So you can see it's lifting up. Sweet, and don't do that. Okay, now I'm gonna take all these bolts, put them in a bag. They may not be reused, but I'm gonna keep them just in case. And then we're gonna take off the head. And you do want to try not to hit anything when you're taking these out. I know I'm going a little fast here, but I'm just want to go home and watch Wednesday for like the 3rd time. Okay, so I need to put these aside. And now Dee's going to come help me lift the head. we shall demonstrate how easy it is to lift a head. Perfect. Oh, and there is a dowel. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's move on. Okay, head gasket is next. So, I mean, obviously it just lifts straight up the dowels. Like this. And clearly we aren't going to be reusing it. I'll set it aside. Okay, now I want you guys to check this out. This blows my mind. This motor is so freaking perfect. Look at this. There's no ridge. You can still see like the bore and everything. I mean, it's like, it's super clean. We literally could have used this motor if I wasn't going to be like racing hard. If it was just kind of like a daily cruiser, you know, maybe drag race once in a while, this would have been perfectly fine to throw into the hatch as is. But we got more plans for her. So yeah, stay tuned. We're going to stop the video right here. And then next time, well, you'll just have to wait and see. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed this.